We've been working with Tracy Yoxall from SRUC, and she's gathering tissue samples to test for trial data for our nutrition trial on a field of Istabrac winter wheat. We're trying to ascertain whether the theory of keeping the Brix high and the plant nutritionally balanced allows us to reduce or even do away with the use of fungicides. Theory suggests it might be possible. We're putting that to the test, and the idea here would be eventually we can cut fungicides out from cereal programs across the farm and just be guided by the health of the plant. Traditionally we've put fungicides on, growth regulators on, we put a bit of manganese on, we're starting to put more and more trace elements on, but just asking the plant what it needs is perhaps a more sensible approach to the IPM. And we're learning lots of things that we didn't think we'd learn. We're more about our soils, more about the plants. Cold spring's been difficult because of course that exaggerates trace element deficiency because we just haven't got the warmth to get the biology going. So as it stands just now, all the plots have effectively had the same treatment, bar the nutrition plot, which has had a bit more trace element additions to it. But next week we'll get a T1 onto the standard programme, and that we might start to pull apart differences then, whether that holds disease better than keeping the nutrition right, whether we see a drop in Brix and other problems with the crop. We'll start finding out then. Now we've had the rain and a little bit of heat, we will start to see the differences, yeah. We would like to think that if you put some magnesium on, you'll see it in the next result, that it will be plenty in the plant, and we have seen a bit of that. It's very difficult to know whether that's just the temperature warming up and that would have happened naturally. So I suppose this year, whilst it is an active trial, it's probably going to be treated more of a baseline because we're learning what perhaps does happen anyway through the system in the untreated plot, and then we can compare those after the harvest this year and see, well, you know, if we hadn't put the magnesium on or the manganese or what have you, the level was going to come up anyway. It was just nature that did it and we didn't need to add it. So how much money and time are we wasting? We know that plants are more dependent on certain nutrients at certain growth stages. So yes, there's a theory of what they need. We just have to tie that with what our soils are actually providing, and that's the bit that's missing and can probably only be answered on an individual field basis, perhaps a farm basis with nice even soil over the years, but it's not a picture we're going to build in one season. This is going to be a long time before we can confidently say, well, we need this, that and the other in certain fields. We'll just follow the rotation round in the same field, so the same field will go into spring barley next year, and we'll try and do the same and pull it apart. And we're also on the farm in fields outside the strategic farm trial. We're doing sap analysis and following it in those fields as well, so we'll just gradually build up a picture.